campus. Everybody get up on your feet. Let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Pat Precourt. Give him a round of applause.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dan, for that introduction. You have to have some way, shape, or form be able to monetize this industry. When I started in this business, which is back in 98-ish, 7-8-ish, less than 4% of all homes sold nationwide required a short sale. Less than 4%. They're estimating, the industry experts right now are estimating that in the next 18 to 24 months, as much as 60% of every single house sold is going to require a short sale. Huge difference than when we started. And I've never had a bad year in this business. The numbers now, I mean, finishing 2009, nearly 3 million foreclosure filings. In 2007, we're like at 1.2 million. Just to give you some sort of comparison how big this is. There was an interesting stat that came out last couple days that said that finally 70% of all homes are affordable. What does that mean? As you look further, see, this is a spin on this funny industry we're in, okay? You have to understand where the spin is. 70% of all homes are affordable. Well, that sounds like good news, right? Then you read further into it, so 70% of all homes sold are affordable. Well, no shit. Because the only homes being sold can be afforded. Like, where do the people come from that write this crap? I'm serious. It's the spin on the industry, though. But the takeaway here for all of you, okay, is this. In those that participate in the short sale foreclosure world, you have to understand where the money comes from. So instead of finding a house and then finding a buyer for a house and then finding financing for the buyer, which is the old school way of doing it, we now have to look at where the money is. Start with the money, find the buyers that qualify for that money, and then which houses match those buyers. Does that make a ton of sense? Why do so many people still do it butt backwards? I don't get it. And there's a lot of people with houses that are upside down. They bought as investments and had no clear exit strategy. And we'll talk about that. Median household income broke down to a month, okay, what they make per month. You take that and you multiply it times 0.29%. What that represents, 0.29%, what that represents is the principal and interest payment that household can afford, and we're going to relate that to a mortgage. We're going to put that number into a calculator and call it principal and interest payment. And we're going to put in amortization of 360 months, right? 30-year loan. And we're going to put in an interest rate that seems pretty good, say 5.5%. And then we're going to compute present value of that property. And that number it spits out of that $18 financial calculator is your magic number. It's a number you got to know because that's a target, that's a center of the real estate you should be investing in. Why? Because that's the formulas that are used on the other end to provide financing. We have loss sharing agreements. A loss sharing agreement is an agreement that the FDIC, now who owns that? Us, yeah, our tax money, FDIC, okay, has made with this big bank who's going to buy out this smaller failing bank. He's failing. Big bank's going to come and buy a little bank out. FDIC is going to step up and set up this loss sharing agreement that says, big bank, if any of these properties, if you lose money on any of the properties and the loans that you bought from the small bank, if you lose any money on those things, we'll step up and make up the difference to you. But if you accept a short sale, then that's off. Yeah. How messed up is that? Makes no sense whatsoever. And if you're dealing with a lender, you're not sure what's going on, you can Google loss sharing agreements, okay, and then look to see if the original loan holder is a defaulted bank or taken over by the FDIC. It'll give you a little insight as to what's going on. Now, for those who are into that stuff, there's ways to legally challenge that, okay, because it's not exactly a straight policy, and they have obligations to mitigate loss and all that other stuff, all right. Rule number 1, okay, be impeccable in your word. Stand behind your word. Speak your mind, okay, but stand behind it. Words can be very damaging to people. And the last thing you want to do is be one that says one thing and does another. As a business owner, as a leader, which you have to be, there's nothing you got more valuable than your spoken word and your handshake. There's no legal binding contract more powerful than that. Do you guys believe in that? It's something, unfortunately, in our society that's falling away. But if you want to be a trusted leader, a respected leader, if you want to be able to persuade people towards a common goal, which is the most simplest definition of leadership, persuasion of more than one towards a common goal, which is different than manipulation, you persuade them by getting them to believe in you. Persuasion is them making a voluntary decision to want to follow what you're saying. That's a powerful position. Manipulation is I bend you to do something. That's not so powerful. Look at corporate structure. You think it's more manipulative or persuasive? It's manipulative. That's why it sucks so bad nationwide, okay? Don't gossip. Part of being impeccable in your world is drop the gossip, okay? Don't talk about anybody unless they're standing in front of you. They're willing to, or they're capable of defending themselves. Rule number 2, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. I know some of you get offended by what others do, okay? Nothing anybody else does is a result of your doing. They choose to do everything they choose to do. Not because of you. They may blame you, they may point their finger at you, but if they take an action, it's their problem. Don't take it personally. I don't, if you believe that, okay? Don't make accusations. You read it wrong. Don't make assumptions, sorry. Okay, have the courage to ask questions, express what you want, communicate to reduce misunderstandings. Anybody ever have a misunderstanding with somebody? How about with a client because you didn't clearly set their expectations for them? And at the end of the deal, they thought they were getting something different than you painted, okay? Be great, crystal clear in your communications, okay? And do not make assumptions. Everything's got to be spelled out for everybody, all right? And then finally, okay, and this is one of my favorites here, always be your best. Absolutely, positively, always be your best. And when you pick that goal, that place you want to be, okay, what's going to get you there is your passion. Your passion comes from here. Your passion does not come from here. And I'll tell you right now, when you choose as to where it's going to go that you want to be, let it come from the heart. Do not let it come from the intellect. This is much more important because you know what? When the going gets tough, this will keep us down. This will push us through it. Do you guys believe that?